Welcome to an Elden Ring playthrough. I'm your host, Jabberwocki Gen X. Today we're going to watch my attempt at a fourth trip to defeating the Elden Beast. This time I'm going to be using an Intelligence Faith build. My first three attempts were a Bleed build, Strength and Arcane, and Intelligence Dexterity. Specifically with this build, I'm going to obviously be casting most of the time. However, given the Intelligence Faith combination, I'm going to also be wielding the Sword of Night and Flame for as long as it's viable. Let's go through here and create the character. This playthrough is sped up 2x because I know everyone out there is really busy. Now that Jabberwocki's been created, let's go watch the opening cutscene.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Margit the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Margit's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost race speaks to us all. Horaloo, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Goldmask, Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome Thungator, and Sir Gideon Opnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless, a tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring, and become the Elden Lord.
Before we go too far, most of my ability to beat this insipid game, which I do love, came from watching hundreds of hours of build guides and tutorials. There are literally dozens of content creators that I used, but I want to give a few of them a shout out as the main source who helped me through this wonderfully insipid game. Thingfishy. If you don't know who this guy is, go find him. He's when I first started looking at him, he was less than 20,000 followers. He's over 100,000 now. His build guides and more importantly, his preparation guides are really good. They're invaluable actually to helping me understand how to prepare for the game and in general, uh, you know, prepare for each boss fight that I had to do. Another one is Fextralife. Now, I actually came across Fextralife before Elden Ring. He was really very good here too. Excellent build guides, just really, really methodically well done, and highly recommend you check him out as well. And then finally, last but not least, there's this guy, Titus Actual Gaming, and his one-shot videos. They're amazing, and the theory crafting that this guy does, it's on a next level. None of these guides do I follow to a T. I reference all of them though, and I use them to kind of play about and find out, my own way to get through this crazy game. So here we go. I started my build with a wretch because it provides the most efficient distribution of talent points at the earliest level. And respecking is better because all attribute points start back at 10. So changing my build mid playthrough isn't quite as restrictive. The first thing we really need to do is gear up and get some talent points and some skills and probably a better weapon as well because kittens at this point could kick my ass.
yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity. Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace, the golden light that gives life to you tarnished? You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, the path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
Yeah, I'm just going to make this point. Vare is odd. Glitches and cuts like this in the video are basically me editing out, getting up, grabbing a bite to eat, scratching my cat, whatever. Yeah, no, I completely missed that side of Grace. Needlessly spamming potions, proving that I have no idea where the buttons are currently. And now we get our spectral steed.
Greetings, traveller from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Normally, when I get Torrent, I go immediately back to the church and speak to Ronnie But not only did I forget to do that, I also forgot to get the hearth point. So we're going to walk back. Do, do.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
There she is.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent. Ah, as I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee, by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell of calling forth, summon them with it, the spirits will obey thine come now, 'tis thine. Forgive mine, I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, how long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
The dogs are actually pretty good, but they're not my early game companions that I like to use. We'll see those in a few minutes. So as you can see, I was not very efficient with this run, going back to grab these weapons when I should have done it on the first pass. But it's not a speed run, and I honestly haven't played this game in a year and a half. He got me pretty good there. I had to run out. I was going to get my first death, excuse me. But I was able to. Now we're going to go down here. And you guessed it. Going to get our whetstone. And this, again, was something that I should have probably done when I was here a minute ago, but having not played this for about a year and a half, just it's amazing how much you forget. Honestly, the fact that a naked man with a stick beat that heavily armored dude is crazy. So we're pretty much wrapping it up in this area now, is rather than, aside from grinding, full uniform and better weapons, which it's not really worth it. It's probably time to mosey on. So the next thing I like to do is path out and collect some smithing stones, some runes, then kind of really just getting set up. And a lot of this, again, is attributed to Thingfishy and other content providers who just really, go here, pick that up, go here, pick that up. And eventually, you have a viable, character now that can survive, a couple hits. And as you'll see, I get hit a lot. So what I'm doing now is basically getting ready to fight Margit, I don't know how you say it. That's the first boss, and I would have no chance beating him at this point in any way, shape, or form. It would be an exercise in frustration. So it's just, again, following other guides, going around, and also a lot of what I do is get the hearth points up front. Even like I'm near one now, and I'm about to get one because I'm going to need that later, and I'm really close to it, and I don't want to ride all the way back. So it has like a pretty good time saver as you set your character up to um, map out where all the hearth points are, or sites of grace, excuse me, sites of grace, so that when you do need to go back to that area, because we're going to need to go back to this castle later, we don't have to run all the way through the environment. We can just hearth back here. So highly recommend, if you're looking to save time, just take care of your maps and your sites of grace early as possible.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Ken Fight, servant to the true order and celebrate.
So here I am going for my first Ash of War, which is it's got holy damage. It's really good. Kills undead, does a lot of damage against them, and more importantly, makes sure they don't get back up. Once I go there, and I have the Ash of War, then I jump in here and grab a Side of Grace. Don't forget Wondrous Physics and an extra, some extra health, or not health there, something. The other thing you want to do is when you're at this church, go behind the church, and there's a little teleport portal there, and then that just posts you way up into Grey World's Dragon Barrow. Grab the Side of Grace here. And then just follow my path down to the next Side of Grace. And if you rest in this area, Melania is going to talk to you and teleport you out. So I'd like to get a few more things done just because it kind of interrupts the flow. So generally, I'll sit down on the next Side of Grace, which is on the other side of this bridge we're about to cross. When you're running down this hill, stay to the right. You'll see on the trail itself there's a bunch of poison bombs. If you try to cross this bridge at night, there's a knight on a dark horse. It makes it very difficult. Thingfishy actually has a way to kill him and grab a bunch of baubles from him, but I can't get it, so I just go through during the day.
To it seems my warrior torrent, whereas I may there is, but I can take you gathering place. Very well. Let my hand.
And there you are, round table hold. I don't stay long on the first visit. Just there's no reason, and I just I don't have anyone to talk to or anything to do really. So when you're here at the rise, jump up, grab the baubles. These will help with the first set of levels that you're going to need to get, or whatever you need it for. And then just go ahead and jump back down, and then jump back up again. And you're going to get an extra spell slot. There you go. Another thing you can do is you can run down that hill to your left, dodge a boulder that comes, and that gives you about 1,900 credits, baubles, whatever they're called, to level up with or whatnot. And you can do it over and over again. For a lot of people, it's the first farming area until you kill the sleeping dragon, or until you kill grafted, and then can go to the actual farming area, which we'll show you in another video.
You're a tarnish, and I can also see that you're not. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
So I like Blythe a lot. He's one of my favorite characters in this game. I'd say just about every playthrough, I do this and really enjoy it. It's a good part of the story. It's kind of like I get like a personal engagement with Blythe that's separate than the inevitable one down the road. So now we got to start tracking north. And just follow what I do here if you're following along.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who only to have their arms taken, it's quite a lot.
Absolutely finish her dialogue. Make sure that it's finished. She'll start repeating herself. That's how you know. Otherwise, she never leaves. And you definitely want her to leave this area. There's a spell book you want to get to the right. I'll go back and get it later, but like I said, I hadn't played this in over a year, so I totally forgot about it and just blew right by it. This one's kind of tricky. I think everyone has their own way of grabbing that map. I just wait for these guys to kind of come towards me. Then I go quickly grab the map because they do move slowly. But I've been killed more often than I care to count, simply getting a map. So I want to try to find the snake girl. Oh, there she is.
Hello. It's rather chilly here, isn't it? My mistress sent me off on an errand, but I was accosted by a ruffian, and now I'm in a bind. Could I ask you lend a hand? Perhaps that thug made off with a precious necklace. I need someone to retrieve it. Only, he too is tarnished. If you've any qualms confronting your own, I shall find another. Oh, thank you dearly. What a blessing that we've met like this. The thug should be resting at an abandoned home down the way. Please, I must have the necklace back.
I cannot recommend this enough. This go get the necklace as soon as you can. A, there's a site of grace there, and then B, it makes finding the manor down the road just so much easier, dude. I've done it twice without the necklace quest, and every other time I've done it with the necklace quest. So I will say too, if you're doing a fist playthrough, killing that guy right there makes a whole lot of sense. So now we're heading east, and we're going to eventually make our way through Kaled, where most of the final preparation will be done. I'm going to get spells, new staff, and some gear. Then we'll almost be ready to take on Margit.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Oh, my stars. I'm so happy. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron
This
Fist.
guy's one of
And
my
as you can see, I'm
favorites.
stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this? My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big, and I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. No, there's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say. Ah, well played, good sir. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this. Once again, pleasure is mine. I am the Y, journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Kaled wilds, and upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter? I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle on the south.
So if I were to go left or behind me now, that's where my katana sword is, and I didn't think I needed it. Turns out I do, and you'll see that shortly when I go after the sleeping dragon.
Oh, dear. You know, I don't
I do
sure
love
you
when the
know.
merchants play the instruments. Those are my favorites. There you go. Let's get the side of grace down here. I'm going to blow past this mini boss here. We will kill many of them later. Not all, though, but most. They definitely give good drops or good XP. And frankly, they're fun to kill. That church over to the left has like a boss in there. I forget what they're called again, but again, it's been a while. But you stay right of it now. You will go back there later and eventually kill her as well. And we're just moving through Caled. No real combat so far, other than hitting dumb, stupid mobs. Nothing really to speak of. Got in trouble once earlier. Continue on down here. To the left is a merchant. That's where I get most of my arrows and stuff from. I don't know why. I just always go to him to buy arrows. And there's probably half a dozen other wares I could go to get one, but I go to him. This Earth Point, or Site of Grace, excuse me, little Warcraft in there. This Side of Grace is pretty helpful if you're coming down to the swamp, which we are here. And this is where I'm getting my mage's gear. Normally I can hug the cliff like that or the ledge and grab that, but I wasn't able to. I had to improvise. And I got it that time. So now we got pretty much the best early game staff. We got some clothes now, and those are good because they have high toxic resistance, and it becomes important, to survive certain things early game. We won't have it forever. And there's the best spell, meteorite spell, and so does a lot of good and a lot of good damage. Realized they followed me down here. I was kind of like, oh crap, I'm pretty weak. And it's not a good area to cast spells. The one spell I do have, in fact, even if I could, I couldn't learn it. So I'm gonna let my dogs take care of them. There they are. I will help them out, and I'm free. Now, since I'm here, might as well go get a smithing stone. And there's a 5 up here, so you just see the big ball. Turn left, go up the hill, and you see that little blinky, flashy thing. Get your smithing stone, and you're pretty much done with this area. We gotta learn a spell. Now we're going to track down to the next site of grace. I grabbed those shards just in case I use Dung Eater later, because you need 5 for him. So you'll see me collect these throughout. He's probably my favorite companion, but he is long slog to grab, and there are companions that are almost as good that you can just kind of like walk up and pick up off the shelf. So, but I do love Dung Eater. I grabbed this Hearth Point, which will become apparent why after I kill the Sleeping Dragon. But you'll want this. And keep calling it Hearth Point because I play Warcraft all the time, so just bear with me. I'll figure it out someday. And last site of grace. At least for now. And there's me testing out the spell. We're good to go. All right. Now, let's go find a sleeping dragon. So I love going around this dragon. Killed them before. I'm definitely a fan of killing dragons in this game. Just not now, because again, kittens could kick my ass. So we got this site of grace, and now we go into this keep here, and it's a mad dash. We're going to grab 2 things. We're also going to see why this armor is valuable. I just got 2 big shots of poison, and I actually didn't proc it. If I was nude, I would have hit it on the first one. So we got the Dectus medallion there. That's half of it. We're going to need the other half, and that's at the castle that I spoke of earlier. So when we go back there and grab it, then we can go on to the next zone, which we're not at all ready for quite yet. I want to jump in here. I generally get this within 3 tries. I lucked out on this one, got it on the first try. And I never. One of these days, I'm going to come back at level 150 and just decimate every living object in this castle. I can't stand those things. The other thing we wanted to get was a pendant that basically gives us 5 attributes, plus 5 attributes to strength, dexterity, health, stamina, but it allows us to take more damage. But it's totally worth it. That got clipped out because it was my cat. I was catching my cat. So. Obviously, I'm too high up. I always do this. You got to go down to the lowest level, then step off. Otherwise, you will die. So what I'm doing now is getting the gold pickle foot foul thing, whatever the hell you call it, which gives me an increased buff on runes that I grab from killing things once I take it, and it lasts 3 minutes. So now that we have everything we need, let's go kill a dragon. Except for the fact that I realized the the pendant that I grabbed didn't give me enough dexterity, so I didn't qualify to proc bleed on the flail. So, as I said before, now we're going to get the katana, or as they say in Japan, Japanese sword. This is why I like the Holy Ash of War on there. It just really makes short work of these guys. You want to grab as many ghosts and any of these glowvorts that you can find there for your ashes, or there for your pets, basically. So it definitely makes sense to run around. I'm going to grab another one of the flowers up there. Kill these two so they don't chase me. Getting rid of them now makes it easier when you try to escape, because there's still going to be a bunch when you get out of the dungeon. Jump down, grab that one, dodge, get hit once. Pull the lever to open the door so that you can fight the boss. And get ready to leave. We'll come back later and try take this boss out. I got what I needed at this point. Yeah. Now my katana is all set to go, or Japanese sword. Now we should be able to kill the dragon. You can thank me now by the health bar you can see drop. We cut out 90% of this little life hack we got going on here. I also took the pickle foul foot so that I would get the bump. And this gives, I think it gives about 95,000 altogether. I had a couple in my pocket when I started, but yeah, about 95,000 runes. And even though I'm an intelligence faith build, I'm going to pretty much put everything into intelligence, because I'm not going to really use the sword of Night and Flame on the first boss, Margit, anyways. I don't need to. And this just lets me use the meteorite staff and a couple other things, which is the higher priority at this phase right now. So the faith will be next. So at this point in Kaled, it's more maps, more sites of grace, and really just preparing for later when we do go through here for real. Again, it's really at this point, it's just collecting everything we need for that first boss fight so we can try to get it on the first try. It's the second shiny. In case we do end up going with the Dung Eater. So I like to go in the castle this way. Just go around to the left, cut up against the wall. No muss, no fuss. Either fight them as they come down the hall or sit down. Now I know it adds health to the boss, but I generally do grab the golds here and take the assist. Just find it easier. The boss isn't focusing on me, especially as a caster.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
So, and that's the fight. Just keep spamming Rock Sling. Stay away from the guy, because you're paper at this point. Huge glass cannon, which we're going to fix later.
Warrior blood must run my veins. Tarnished.
Down goes the first boss. Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Smoldering with thy meager.